Hello? Oh, welcome back. Shall we start the session? Yes, sir. Yeah. It's my immense pleasure to introduce the speaker of the session, Dr. Rajesh Jha. Welcome you, sir. Let me give a brief introduction to the gathering. Dr. Rajesh Jha, a leading specialist in the wireless technology, joins as an associate professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication in Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Katra. Dr. Jha is pursuing research in wireless communication, power optimizations, wireless security issues, and optical fiber communication. He has received his PhD degree from NIT Surat, India M Tech, and NIT Jalandhar. He is an author of most popular article on IEEE Explorer, including all IEEE transaction journals since last 2 years. He has published more than 40 journal papers, out of which more than 20 SCI journal papers, including IEEE transaction, IEEE journals, elsewhere, Springer, etc. He has published paper interference, including ITUT, IEEE ANS, Indicons, APANS. Dr. Jha's concept related to router of wireless communication has been accepted by ITU, that is International Telecommunication Union, in 2010. He has received Young Scientist Author Award by ITU in December 2010. He has also received APAN Fellowship in 2011 and 2012. He is a member of IEEE, GISFI, and SIAM, International Association of Engineers, ICCS, that is Advanced Computing and Communication Society, CSI, etc. He has joined under the direct recruitment scheme of university. Thank you, sir. We are very happy to have you here, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Okay, thank you.
Over to you, Nasser. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you once again to your organizations, and especially for Mallikarjun sir, principal sir, and chairman sir, for inviting me to present my view. As far as my current designations, now I joined Triple IT as as associate professor, and I'm a student of wireless communications, and as far as green communications, I have given the first green communication for wireless related concept G small r and double en in 2016. Initially, I was proposed the architecture of 5G, and hopefully you know everyone. And if you are uh, doing the research in wireless communication, you should gone through that paper. I think near about 2,000 citation of that paper. And as far as the today's agenda, I have associated with this green communication since in my PhD. My PhD topic was also with the location-based green communications, and later on in the meanwhile, as far as the today's lectures, I want to take the feedback from your side, because in the last lecture, many one wants to see the impact of green communication on the human body. Basically, we have done the research and also filed the patents. In between, after 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I will give the some show my hardware analysis for the real time healthcare scenario. So if anyone wants to go through my detailed research, I will give the my information in later page. So I don't know what you people are looking for, because all are the faculties, and I'm also the students of this wireless communication. So if anyone can wants to tell me which type of you are looking for the idea. As far as the NOMA concerned, I was the first person in India who has developed the NOMA MIC, uh, non-orthogonal multiple assays, multiple interference cancellations. When you find out, you found that I was developed that concept. Mm. We have also developed NOMA plus OMA. That means hybrid concept that is related to OFDMA and NOMA both. Where we can apply the NOMA, where we can apply the NOMA. That is the concept also developed by my lab. Basically, I was associated with the 5G IoT lab at Sri Mata University. Now I am at IIT Jabalpur. So now I begin my presentations. But I want please be free to ask the questions, because if you will complete my entire presentation, then there is no meaning, right? So yeah, if anyone wants to do the concept of we will start the concept from D2D communications, how the D2D information is actually appears. In my entire presentation is totally related with my work, what we have done in last 5 years, right, associated with the 5G. So in 2013, I was developed these architectures, and then we have proceed further. Okay. So in my today's agenda, why this green communication is there? So green means global radio resource, because as per for the wireless communication, R4 radio resource. Double E means energy efficient, and N means networks. So global radio resource energy efficient network. That was the full form was given by my lab in 2016. So in the first phase, we will provide the general concept about the D2D communications, and at the same time we will provide the some case studies, real-time case studies, right? And all has published in IEEE transactions by my lab. And the first concept we have developed in sector-based radio resource allocations. Second one is the beam breathing. Beam breathing that like we take the inhale and away. Same way in base stations also breathing. Sometimes if you are at the longer distance, very far from the base station, then what they can do, and if you are very close to the base station, what they can do, so that energy efficient network can be developed. So I have developed the concept beam breathing, right? Third concept that is really very good, and it is already patented, and very soon you people will use this concept, JetB Green, that is zonal based green communication. Through this approach, we can enhance the battery lifetime up to 40%. And last but not the least, this is the latest our publication, latest patents related to safe 5G and beyond 5G networks. Why safe? Because in last lectures, anyone looking for the so what are the impact of radiations on body. So I will tell. Please analyze. Right now, if you want to have the some background. So just observe that if you have the small kids in your family, then many times if you are in the cities where the large number of base stations have deployed, they will tell you, mom, my skin is itching. So we thought this itching is directly related with the water contents and impurity of water, but no, that is directly related with your radiations on your skin. So if your base stations is very close to your buildings and main lobes, it directly impinges on your windows, and so we have done the studies, many studies. They also impact on the growth. Basically, they are highly impacted by the women's, pregnant women's, that is really impacted by that lobes. And second one, the kids, what are the impact? They are itching, because due to the radiation they are heated, right? And when they will go to bath, the cold are there. So heat and cold, different phenomena. So they start the itching. So what are the impact? You can understood. So we have developed one mode that is known as thermal radiation mode. In if anyone, how I can see the person, so that I can call anyone so that I can interact to anyone. So if anyone is online, I want to ask something. Uh, Arvinda HL, are you there? Arvinda HL, Arvinda, Arvinda, are you able to hear me? Then please unmute. Or Arun Kumar, if you are able to hear me, so that I can do the some introduction, so that everyone can understood the concept of green and safe 5G. That is known as, we have developed thermal radiation mode, TR mode. Anu are there? Anu, if Anu is there, anyone please, anyone can help me? Ashish Singh, are you there? Ashish Singh, are you there? Malikarjun, I am audible or not?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
So Ashish Singh, no one is responding, so it's really surprising. Asa, Arun Kumar, RN, if you are just attending the this FDP, so I think there is no meaning, right? So anyone, Deepa Reddy, so it's very tough. Okay, so who is your coordinator? If you are unmute, then kindly give the answer from yourself. If
Yes, sir.
kindly,
Yes, sir. I'm there.
yeah, yeah. Ashish, are you hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So Ashish, currently you have the mobile phones.
Yeah, sir.
So so how many modes are available in your mobile phones? How many modes? आपके पास जो मोबाइल फोन्स है वो how many modes are they are working basically currently?
Modes, sir.
Modes of operation. So one is active mode, when you are able to call and receive, and other one when you are going from A to B place through the flight. So what you have done in the flight?
Yeah, flight mode. We will move to the flight mode.
Yes. So in the current scenario, there are two modes. One is active mode, and other one is known as flight mode. But we have third mode in green and safe 5G and beyond 5G wireless network, that is known as TR mode. TR mode. What is the TR mode? Basically, TR mode is the thermal radiation mode. So you can, Ashish, please observe when you will free. Then please check your phone SAR, a specific absorption rate first. Second, when your phone is near by you at the night, then you observe, due to radiations, you are not, your sleeping will be not properly, so that your memory is also disturbed, and that is the we have done the practical case study also. So this is the very very challenging for all the researchers, because 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, again beyond 5G and 6G, the frequencies increases, right? 850 megahertz to now we are reached at 28 gigahertz and 54.4 gigahertz. And you are really surprised. I was proposed this 28 gigahertz and 8 megahertz bandwidth at in 2013, and same band has utilized by now our Indian scenario also. So this is what are the the basic challenges for the researchers. If the frequency increases, okay, data increases, attenuation increases, but the radiation also increases. So how we can save yourself? So this is really fantastic. So Ashish, you are doing the research in 5G or some wireless communications, and okay, otherwise we proceed further. So this trends, higher data rate means higher power consumption is there, right? So and higher consumption, that means 1000 more power in 5G network power consumption as compared to 3G 4G. And focus now these days, that's why this FDP has organized. Now we are focused about the green or energy efficient networks as per the wireless communications. So after 2010 or now 2022 or 2025, this 21 we have now going to deploy the 5G networks with a green scenario. So this is the our main agenda. In recent years, IP traffic will reach 500 exabyte per month by 2013, and you know that currently 278 um, exabyte per month in 2021. This is the recent informations. So you can observe how much data you are using, right? And sometimes 90% times you are using WhatsApp, but you thought in WhatsApp very few data rate is required in kbps, but uplink or downlink phenomena is continuously processed by the decisions. So we have proposed on the basis of demands A1, A2, and A3 video, voice, and data. The radio resource allocations basically adaptably allocate by the decisions. So this is the basic aim of our proposals. So 4.5 is really important. Techniques is involved in 5G or beyond 5G. That is the device-to-device communication, spectrum sharing, beamforming, and NOMA, non-orthogonal multiple access. Right? Why NOMA? I will tell. And if anyone have the questions, then I will tell now. Otherwise, I will I will discuss in details. And once I will tell you, you will every time you are able to the answer to anyone. Okay. Now impact on the society. So in the beginning, your principals also highlighted about the reduced carbon footprint. Yes, how the carbon footprint can be reduced. Ecological balance, higher operating time for stations, fuel saving, and prolonged battery lifetime of mobile terminals. And this is we have achieved this prolonged battery lifetime of mobile terminals. Okay, so what are the motivations about the green communications? So first, quality of service and quality of experience. How both are the very related to each other, but anyone can define the quality of experience so that I can go for further. So Geeta, are you there? Geeta, are you there? Could you please tell me how the quality of experience can be calculated by the any network service provider? Anyone can tell me, please? So it's very tough. If you will not give the answer and not interrupt me, then I will go through the entire so it's very tough for me to so Diksha, are you there? Have you heard about the term of quality of experience? If anyone wants to give the answer, please unmute and give the answer. How any network service provider will do the quality of experience phenomenon? Anyone please? Okay, so no issue.
Hello.
Yes, Deeprasad. Yeah, tell me, sir. Please tell me.
Hello, sir. Is it based on RSSI value, sir? Received signal strength indicator.
Signal strength, yes. And other one is a mean opinion score, MOS. I think you heard that, the value. So how the mean opinion scores can be calculated? Basically, they have done the survey in different area. In India is very only I don't tell some company name, but only one company is doing like this. They have done the survey on the basis of quality, your speech quality. There are different types of speech versions. They find the mean opinion score. That means someone giving the score 5, someone giving the 4, someone, and the value of the quality of experience is depends on MOS, and MOS value is lies between 1 to 5, right? So if someone giving 5, someone giving 4.5, someone giving 4, so average of that particular factor that give the quality of experience, and that is totally depend on RSSI, and that RSSI directly depends on SINR value. SINR value directly depends on the capacity. Thank you, Deeprasad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, they told rightly. So quality of experience and quality of service is really directly related to each other, and hopefully you understood this can be calculated by mean opinion score. Now these days we have observed that the most challenging part for us is the main challenging part for us is battery lifetime. I think you are all agree this point. We are always bother about yeah, but now at 11:30 the battery is full 100%, but after 4 hours the battery goes down because due to the back-end process and some uplink dowlink phenomena is always going there. We are looking for only WhatsApp. We are not looking the code. I'm right or wrong? I don't know. Deepasad, could you please might correct me? In this last 1 year, as far your concern, you are how many times in percentage, how much percentage you are directly involved with the WhatsApp call or normal call? Can you give some feedback? In before 2 years, your normal call is 70%, but now normal call is reduced to 30%, and WhatsApp call goes to 70%. Is I am right or wrong? Deepasad, if you unmute and give the any feedback on this, please. So
Yes, sir.
right. So as far as RF communications, when the base station longer distance, Prasad, please correct me. One base station at near about 1 kilometer, and your hotspot point is 30 meters or 50 meters away. Which one will consume high power? Which one? Base station or Wi-Fi point? If your mobile phone will receive the signal from 1 kilometer, your request will goes up to 1 kilometer, or if your request will go 30 meters, which one is good? Which one is good? Could you please tell me which one is good? So okay, so no doubt your Wi-Fi point hotspot is the better as compared to the base station point. So that's why now these days, as far as your research concerned, you can able to give the some concept how the switching can be happened on the basis of your demand. Okay, so I think motivations you people have. If any doubt, please let me know. Now we don't know how much we can cover, but there are 4 agenda for the today topic. One is device-to-device communications, just a general agenda. Second one, how we can achieve the better quality of service and quality of experience by SBRRA. And third one is green communication. To achieving green communication means battery lifetime, how we enhance the battery lifetime. And fourth one, to achieve green and safe wireless communication. So this is the 4th agenda we have covered. We will cover. The first agenda is general scenario, that is relay selections. So those my friend who is in initial phase of research, they can do the research from here only. First, the relay selection is very important. Why? So see, the first proposal I was given in 5G scenario, that is the relay selections. You can able to see here base stations in as far as the 5G concerned, the radius of the base stations, coverage of the base stations is near about 500 meters, right? And the total distance is 1 kilometer. Here you can able to see what the architectures here. So here some cellular communication is directly communicated. Some one is communicated through relay if the small cell access point is very far from here, and some small cell access point is directly connected if the building is very near to them, right? And some bandit networks, mobile networks are there. They can also communicate with this. So this user can communicate with the mobile relay, right? And here in the normal relay mode. Right? So the question is, what is the role of relay? So relay role is to provide the signals in the entire cell with the informity. Informity means, since here the base stations, the range of here in this range might be the signal is good, but when you move from here to there, signal is not good, or here the signal is very low. So, but they want to communicate with these base stations, they can communicate with the relay. Right here also, this is a small cell access point. Directly they will not communicate here, but through relay node they can able to communicate. So to do the informed policy for the SINR relay can be used, right? So the question is, there are many types of relays available, 1, 2, 3. So how the relay can be selected? So we will give the idea and the proposals. The first, how the relay can be selected. Okay. In this process, first we have create the database, generate the random user SCA, relay selections, apply the hidden Markov model. Hidden Markov model will apply at the base stations and relay and SCA, and then calculate the result. So in this proposal, we will do the one normal optimization, and second one is the hidden Markov model optimization, so that you can understand how energy can be optimized, right? So here, in this system model, base station is here, a small cell SS point 2 is here, a small cell SS point A is here, and in a small cell SS point, they are projected, and because the small cell SS point is basically your white, in 5G, Wi-Fi hotspot is basically converted into a small cell SS point, right? So they can cover.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, your slide is not moving, I think. You're in slide number 6, sir.
How this can be possible? Just a minute. Just a minute, sir. Stop setting. Sir, now my screen is visible.
Not yet, sir.
Thank you. Now is visible, sir?
No, sir. Your slides are not visible, sir.
Can you open from your side?
From my side, sir.
Yeah, and but
Yeah.
just a minute. I will again try it once again.
Yes, sir.
Stop sharing. Now visible, sir, or not?
No, sir. Not yet visible, sir.
Could you please open from your side?
Yes, sir. I am trying.
I can open my PDF.
Yes, sir. Able to see now, sir?
Not in this. Just a minute. No.
Sir, are you able to see? I am sharing, sir.
Yes.
I think you are in this slide now, sir.
Yes.
Ninth.
Is still I'm able to see the starting to share content like this.
Oh.
There is some problem on my side.
What about participants? Are you able to see the slides?
Yes, sir, it's viewed.
Yes, sir.
You are very okay. So can I open close and then open this?
I think Sir has to stop their presentation, I think so.
Sir, shall I stop presentation sharing, sir?
No, sir, that Sir should stop it, I think.
Sir, from your end, you stop sharing, sir. Then I think you'll be able to see, sir.
Already I stopped, sir.
Stop it, sir.
That's why you are able to share it, right?
Uh-huh. No, you want to share the slide, sir? Shall I stop sharing from my end?
Yes.
1 minute. Sir.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I have stopped sharing, sir, from my end.
okay. I think this has happened.
Sir, I think some network issues, sir, from your end.
Sir, you present the screen, sir. Sir will explain for that.
Yeah, but for him it is not visible, madam, when I presented. Yes, sir, now it is visible, sir, your slide.
Now it is visible.
Is my slide is visible now?
It was, sir, but not now.
Okay, sorry. Now?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Oh, sorry, really sorry. So I was on 6th. Okay. So motivations, I think I have already covered about the quality of service and quality of experience. Someone told, so my agenda is basically there are four agenda. Agenda 1 is how the device-to-device communication has been formed. Second one, how quality of experience can be achieved in SBRRA. And third one is the main agenda, that is how the power of the battery life can be enhanced. And agenda 4, to achieve green and safe wireless communications. Okay, so now slide is visible or not?
Visible, sir, visible, sir.
So this is the first architecture. This is the first architecture in 5G networks, how the power can be optimized in general scenario. So here you can able to see here the base stations are there. In 5G, the radius is 500. That means near about approximately 1 kilometer, range is there. Why? Because you know that from 1G, 2G, 3G, and 4G, the frequency is increases, and due to frequency increases, attenuation is increases. Due to attenuations, high attenuations, the range is decreased. So we have proposed and exactly the same in after 5 years, when the 5G is going to deploy, the range is same, near about 1 kilometer. So what happened that currently you at your home Wi-Fi hotspot point is there, but in 5G there is other name that is known as a small cell access point, SCA. So here base station is there. Base stations can directly, if you are near from the base stations, they can directly provide the connections. Channel allocations is there, right? Direct, right? Line of sight, direct communications. But if you are very far, right, at edge of the this 5G area, then they can communicate with the relay nodes, right? If the vehicular node is there, right? So if they want to communicate from these stations, they communicate through this relay also. The question is, a large number of relays is involved in 5G processing. So how the 5G relay can be selected? So I will provide the concept, the relay selections addition. Second one, in this networks, we will do the optimizations on the basis of, the first one is the general scenario, general power optimizations, and second one on the basis of hidden Markov model. Hopefully, you all understood the concept of hidden Markov model. Hidden Markov model is totally based on the probabilistic approach. So In this work, we have, initialized the creation, creation of simulation scenario. Second one, generation of random users and SCA. That means you will create one area. Then after that, you have provide the random allocation of the users and a small cell access point. That users and a small cell access point will be communicated to the different relay. And hidden Markov model can be applied from the base stations, relay, and a small access point. Now, this is the system model, right? In system model, we are able to see base station directly communicated and SCA is directly communicated or through communicated with the relay. A small cell access point, I already told, that is generally similar in nature like Wi-Fi. So many users are there. Okay. This is the simulation parameter. Since the time is less, so we will provide the real case studies and real hardware analysis so that you can understand which type of work can be incorporated by my lab. Okay, so this is the general scenario. If you are the researchers and if you have already done many good things, then there's a striations parameter from 3GPP and IQT. Always prefer that parameter only, right? If you have done some good work, then send for corrections and proposals, right? So NFC will there. They can incorporate your results in future 3GPP 14th generations will be released very soon, so they can be incorporated. If you are in the good researchers, then please refer only 3GPP and IQT parameter for the future scenario, right? Now here, how the relay selection is there. If I am the user and let us assume that two relay will provide the information to me. This two relay will provide the information to me. So the question is, either I will receive by both. If I will receive by both, then interference can be increased. So the selection of the relay is very, very important, right? So how they can be selected? So see, relay number 1, 2, 3. You can able to see relay number 1, 2, 3. Here we have done the iteration 1, 2, 3. Relay power, right? Source power and total power. So total power is receive power and source power. So on the basis of this, we can able to see after this. See here in iteration 1, in first case 8.97 dB, second one is 8.22 dB, and third one is 7.63. So which one is best one? You can clearly see in which one in iteration 1, which one is best one? 763. And 763 through which relay you have received this 763? So relay 3. So either more than one relay is available, but after the channel locations, the lesser power will be selected. So in relay number 3 is selected in iteration number 1. In iteration 2, anyone can tell me which one is the less power? Anyone? Please tell me. If anyone are able to see this result. So in here the minimum value is this 6.94. So which relay is there? Relay 1. So now in iteration 2, iteration means random locations. Kindly you are here, after 30 minutes you are here. So might be now first relay is 1 is okay, relay 3rd is okay, now relay is 1 is okay, right? So now same way in iteration 3rd, what we observed 8.39, 9.21, 7.48. So again, which one? Relay 3. So this is the selection of the relay. How the power has been allocated by your mobile device and the base stations. The total power in different iterations incorporated by the different relays. So in these conditions, we have observed that here relay 3 is selected, relay 2 is selected, relay 1 is selected, relay 3rd is selected, relay 1 selected, and relay 3 is selected. So different iterations, different, this is a representation, general representation. Those are in initial stage. So you can represent like this. Okay, if any questions, please let me know. Now, second case, after apply of the hidden Markov model, right? So you know that this is the probability approach. We know that probability, how they can be defined in the complete cycle. The total probability is 1, right? So on the basis of this, we can number of clients served by node, SNR, distance, and applications. These 4 conditions we have considered, and I will tell in very good examples to all of you. If anyone can help me, then I will give the practical examples. So you can see user 4, user 5, this is the user number, right? This is the user distance. So larger distance is 338, or lowest distance is 37, right? So anyone can help me how this BPSK, QPSK, QAM is applied? Anyone, please. So I'm really happy to for the future research is really important. Really, if anyone can help me how this can be deployed the different modulation scheme. So anyone, please, Arvind, are you there? Arun Kumar ji, Arun Kumar RN. Arun Kumar RN, please. 2257. Anyone? Please unmute and please don't write in the chat box because I want to interact. Diksha, are you there?
Sir, BPSK 2 symbols, QPSK 4 and PAM for 16.
Okay, I'm not talking about the numbers. Basically, how the base stations can be allocated. This BPSK 388 why at 388 distance? Why not QAM? Why at larger distance BPSK are there? Smaller distance QAM is there. Can you tell me? Anyone? Please. This is really this is really significant for your research, and you can tell with a high practically to your student also. Anyone, please? Or I can proceed. Okay, no issue. So see the example. Here is the base stations.
Sir, is it something related to bit error rate, sir?
Yes, bit error rate. Fantastic. Yes, this is totally related with the bit error rate. So how when you will go through the constellation diagram?
Euclidean distance.
Yes, in constellation diagram, when QAM is there, so one symbol multiple bits, right? And in BPSK only 2 bits. So see, 2 bits are there. If you are able to see me, 2 bits, 4 bits, 16 bits. So 2 bit distance is reducing when the high modulation you are adopted. So lower distance, lower threshold between 2 bits. So noise are there, right? So noise impact more in larger distance or lower distance, ma'am? Ready, ma'am? Which one is the highly impacted by the noise? Higher distance or lower distance? Can you tell me?
Lower distance.
Lower distance. So when you are at the base stations, your distance is very low, then your noise, to disturb by the noise, interference by the noise is low probability. So that's why when you are at the very close to the base stations, high modulation can be applied. In the middle, that means 128 QAM, like that, 256 QAM, or the middle way, 64 QAM, or if very far, then BPSK, maximum QPSK are there, because symbols is very far, so high chance of interference, fading are there. So that is the different distance, different modulation is applied. That is known as adaptive modulation encoding, AMC. I think hopefully you all have understood this concept. And this is the adaptively selected by the base stations. So same HMM relay, user distance 34, 21, and you can able to see this. Okay, when you can apply a hybrid, base stations, relay, and SCA everywhere, you can go through the same concept. When the larger distance, lower, because HMM, relay is the lower distance communication, so all QAM, right? SCA is the low distance communication, so all QAM. So hopefully you understood the concept of this, how this can be applied. Now, as now we are dealing with the power consumptions and green communication. So see, there are 5 users. Let us assume that 20 watt power has allocated the 5 users. Let us assume that. So they will get by 5 users. So 4 watt deployed to all. But when we apply the hidden Markov model, you can see how much power can be saved. Only these fourth user distance is very higher distance, longer distance. That's why the power is high. Otherwise, in all the case, the power is lower, right? So on the basis of hidden Markov model, if you are in the initial phase of research or middle phase of research, please learn about the hidden Markov model. That is really beneficial for your future research. Now, same in the case of proposed scheme, that means here power total power consumptions in power clients is again C. This is the lowest due to after apply the relay selections. First we have applied the relay selections, then hidden Markov model. So the first concept is for you, those peoples, those are doing the research. Please go through the concept of proportional algorithm. Proportional means nothing. 25 result divided by 5, and hidden Markov model, it depends on your channel condition, channel coefficient, and then apply the on the basis of distance, on the basis of demand, you will apply the power. So again, here if we can see the power consumption in our proposed approach is very low. Okay, so then this is the case. First summary of the basic concept is yes, relay selection is very important. Second one is adaptive algorithm is very much required for the future communications, right? So through this approach we can optimize the power. Now second general case study is known as device to device communications. In the future, the entire network is based on the will be covered on the device to device communications. We have first concept has been developed in device to device communications in 2016, and also find out some basics results and innovative concept. The question is one question when we are in the final phase of deployment and sent to the ITOT. So found that they asked the one question, very good questions. They are, why one device wants to pair with the other one? So later on we found that there is one concept that is known as award. So in the future, on the basis of AI and deep learning, we are going to apply on one award phenomenon with the device to communication. What is award? Since this one mobile is here, another mobile is here. This is the fully charged, and you are not able to communicate with the base stations. They want to communicate within 20 meters. They form the pair. But why it will give this to link to this? What are the benefits of this mobile device? So the main benefits of this mobile device is award. What type of awards? So company maybe provide you free 1 month free bill, mobile bill, and many things. Provide, but they can provide your hotline services for artificial virtual reality, augmented reality, so that you can visualize. You can purchase one bottle at the Singapore airport, and you can feel everything there, and you can purchase it. So this type of award can be incorporated in the future scenario. Okay, so device-to-device communications. So first, we have developed one sector-based resource allocations. The entire cellular area had divided into sectors, and then applied the algorithm. Okay, so how is the first case? So here base stations are there, and the concept of sector-based approach, 120-degree division. What are the benefits? You can concentrate it on this, and this antenna will be concentrated on this, and the main benefits at the boundary. If there is interference, you can mitigate on this interference because you can divide it in different parts of this. So sector-based approach is really the approach, and they are now currently in the future scenario, and currently also this sector-based approach is very popular. Okay, so here one and base stations have 3 sectors antenna. They can serve in the different area. Okay. So first is the pair formations. We are lucky. I have given the concept about the less than equal to 30 meters. And now they are actually in implementation stage, and every country and is adopted same things. Resource allocations using hidden Markov model like the previous one. So here, if you are the researchers in initial phase, please look this. So start input parameters. That means input parameters is the cell radius, number of users, then initialization total number of users, let us that n number of users, pairs formation, how the pair formation is there. So if the distance is less than equal to 20 meters, so yes, that can be loop will move less than equal to t0, then dt2 formation is there. So pair, initially if the pair is n, now n plus 1. If there is a conventional approach, if these two devices not in within 30 meters, then pair formation will not happen. So conventional cellular approach, they can receive the directly a signal from that base station, because one users will not able to form the pairs, they will still can able to access the networks on the base stations, right? So pair form, you can see node 10, 15, 3. So this is the condition here. See how many pairs, 1, 2, 3, you can calculate here, right? And this is the base station. This they can be directly can communicate here. This device is paired here, right? So this is the representation, actual representation of that base stations. Okay. So the same thing when 10 pair formations are there, right? And when 15 pairs forms are there. So you can able to see distance is here, right? Here. All the distance are less than equal to 30 meters. That's why the pair formations are there, right? So you are able to understood how the device communication can be happened. Now the third and important concept is you should know about the channel, channel modeling. How the channel modeling is, can be incorporated. You should know the line of sight communication. You should understood the non-line of sight communication. Multi-path phenomena, so that you can achieve the constructive and destructive phenomena. Please, if anyone is unmute, please mute yourself so that. Okay. So after on the basis of channel coefficient, you can calculate the SINR, and once the SINR can calculate, you can calculate the channel capacity on the basis of Shannon Hart value. So this is the concept here, right? This is the all the parameters related with the 3GPP and ITOT, right? So we have see in the existing scheme, the throughput is very low, right? Very low, right? 10 Mbps in that time when we are working on the 4G environment. Now you can multiply with the 20. Initially we have to multiply with the 20 megahertz. Now 850 megahertz of the bandwidth of 5G. So here now we can see the comparison. So after the sector-based approach, your throughput will be enhanced, in large way. So that if capacity is high, so energy efficiency should be high, right? Now, same, I will not, give the more time to on this. So, what are the conclusion till now? In any networks, you should know how you can deploy the networks. So channel impedance you should understood. Second one, how many numbers you can deploy, how many number of pairs can be deployed in that network. So first case study, and this case study has published in IEEE Transition and Molecular Technology in 2019, and the proposed architecture for green communication based SBR array for assured quality of service and experience in device-to-device communications, right? So see, radio resource allocation for quality of service and experience in 5G wireless communication network. How happened? So first, the basic concept we have developed is sector-based approach, but the main concept is here is resource reuse. We have gone through the concept of frequency reuse, but here we have given the concept of resource reuse. What are this? So let us assume that you have demanded to the base stations, kindly I am looking for the google.com or facebook.com like that, and your mobile will provide the link, and at the same they have provided the resource allocations, and your information is completed. But what we have observed that there is a one packet format. There is a really important for you all people. Let us assume that when you will ask to your mom or dad, please provide me some money, they have no minimum threshold. Okay, I will give 500 rupees, right? But second question they ask, why you are looking for the money. Then you will tell, I want to purchase one pencil. So pencil price is 5 rupees only, right? But mom has given, or your father has given, 500 rupees. So 495 rupees is still with you, right? And you can, purchase some different things, right? And eat some samosa and different things, right? But in cellular communications, when you have demanded some, before this approach, they will provide the 100 resource block. Let us assume the 100 resource block they have given to you. So you will use only 5 resource block, and if the voice communication are there, if your video communication are there, let us say that 50 resource block you will use, but still 50 are unused, and that resource block is totally wastage. That 50 resource block, how much power has been involved, right? So we have given the concept resource block reuse. So the D2D pair are there, and they are directly combined to each other. They already spent 50, but still they have 50 resource block. They can pair with this. They not go back to the demand, to the base stations. Yes, when the total resource blocks will be used, then and only then they can demand. So hopefully you understood the concept. Different result will come, and that is the different thing. But we have, the first time we have came with the concept of resource block reuse with the device-to-device communication, and that was a fantastic phenomena, and it's really remarkable for the future scenario. And now all the future coming beyond 6G or 5G networks, they can be used this our approach. So that SINR, how we can calculate your power, right? And channel coefficient is very, very important, because channel coefficient, if you find the channel coefficient, then you can calculate the channel gain. Once the channel gain is 5, then you can calculate SINR. And if you are able to calculate the SINR, then you are able to calculate the capacity. Once you have calculated the capacity, you can calculate the energy efficiency. So this is the phenomena. If this is the base station, this is your mobile, first channel location are there, find the channel coefficient, right? Once the channel coefficient you can find anything. So here SNR is the power, right? Into channel coefficient, signal power into channel coefficient by noise or interference, right? Interference, how the interference are there? Since this is the pair, other pair is also here. So you are communicating each other, but third person also interfere. This is the life of the general scenario also, how the interference can become. When two friends are, two good friends in your class, right? And they are performing very good quality of signal, quality of service is good. The third person, every time wants to disturb him. This is the nature, right? Couple phenomena and decouple phenomena. So same here. If they are, communicating each other, base station also send the signal, and other device pair also send the signal. That's why here three different type of interference can be given. So you understood, if this pair, another pair, and base station also there. So base station also send the information conversely. This pair also wants to. This is the nature of the human life and the general scenario also. If two are very happy, no one will be able to see this pair is happy. So some third interference are there, and same at the base station also. So the total interference is look like this, right? Once you can calculate the SINR, then you calculate the total capacity, right? Now we have also done the optimizations on the basis of this. This optimization is very very important for the optimizations conditions. So this first conditions ensure sufficient number of resource block is available. SINR threshold, sufficient resource block is important. Second one, ensure that that total transmission power D2D transmitter over all resource block cannot exceed in maximum transmissions, right? That's why resource block is not R minus 1, right? And this is the R minus, this is the threshold value, right? So depends on the number of pairs formed by any instant of time. So that is also R minus K is R by 2. So this is the optimizations of this our proposals. Now, for those researchers who is doing the research in this field, that is really important. First one, either you know your work in the form of pseudocode or either in the form of flowchart. Both are very, very important. So, right. So first is flowchart pair formations. So what are the flowchart pair formations? Is very easy. So see, pair formation, I already told the distance phenomena. If distance is less than 30 meters, pair form. Otherwise, don't think. Or pair is increased by 1. So yes, set D, T plus 1. Okay. Same. Second is flowchart for adaptive resource block allocation using HMMA. So how this has been happened? If you are talking, you are using the phone for the WhatsApp. So data rate RT is required very low, right? In kbps. If you are talking on the phone, so might be 100 kbps, 200 kbps, or let us assume that 100 1 mbps. Or if you are talking about video communications, video communications on higher data rate is required. So on the basis of demand, A1, A2, and A3, we have basically this resource block has been allocated. Means the question is, so your base station has given 100 resource block, 100 rupees. So if you want to purchase one good Parker pen, so it's very difficult to purchase, but let's assume 50 rupees is required. But for balancing 1 rupee is required. So adaptive resource block is required. Same in the case of general communication system. If you are looking for text communications, RT is lower. So quota resource block, very small resource block is required. If voice, some higher. If video, very higher. So this is known as adaptive resource block allocations, right? Now this is general scenario. Now we have applied the same concept on the sector-based radio resource allocation, SBRRA. We have divided the sector and then applied all this. So this is the three basic concept related to this one. Now this is really, really important. This is an illustrative example of SBRRA. What happened? This is the simple. We have done the different iterations, 5-6 iterations have done, and find out sometimes one resource block is available, so they can share it with the pair. Sometimes the entire resource block is available, they can pair. So what is the concept? See, if 100 rupees they have demanded, which is given to this 100 rupees, they will give the 5 rupees. 95 rupees they have still remain. 95 resource block is still they have. They will not call to base station. So because base stations is very far. So if you ping the base station, power required very high. So till then, 4-5 iterations they have not required any base stations communication. So understood how much power we can save, and so this way we can also reduce the increase the battery lifetime or reduce the battery consumption. So this is the fantastic novel approach. You can, I think you are able to understand this. This is the general. I already told some channel educations we have also incorporated and given to 3GPP. Okay, so now this is the first result. See, what are the scenario? One scenario is general SBRRA, then hidden Markov model, and third one we have applied SBRRA with the HMM, with this concept. What is our concept? Resource block reuse concept. So see here we have done the case study in 3 when the low density, second one the medium density, and third one the high density. We know that the maximum people are currently doing the research in ultra dense network, very, very high number of users. So yes, we have done some case study on this one. So iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3, iteration 4, and iteration 5. You can see all SINR in the case of allocation here. You can able to understood this. Resource block allocation with the SBRRA is higher, right? And through this, we can also achieve the throughput with SBRRA, red color, with SBRRA, means sector-based approach with HMM is very, very significant, very, very large difference. See here, this one is the SBRRA, simple SBRRA. Now, resource block reuse with HMM is really significant. Same, you can able to understood the throughput and Mbps using HMM is trademark. See what are the difference, and using SBRRA there is a large difference. So finally, we have calculated the MOS, mean opinion square values, and found that quality of experience. See here, SBRRA approach. See 4.9. Here 4.91, right? But HMM 3.58 also, right? So if 4.9 is fantastic, right? There is no comparison of real-time scenario. So real-time scenario 4.5 and 4.6 is fantastic. So through this way, in the future, we can able to achieve high quality of experience with our approach. Now the same case study for this case study for low density is the medium density, and you can able to see using HMM, using concentrated pair density and distributed pair density. We have also done one case study, very real time scenario when the users are very close, concentrated, and sometimes distributed very far from there. So you can also see when the distributed pair are there, then the SNR is very high, right? And if the concentrated pair, lower. But HMM understood this concept. Why? Anyone can tell me when the pair is concentrated pair, then SNR is lower with the same approach, but distributed the SNR is higher. Anyone can tell me why this happens? K Deepa, can you tell me? If you are able to tell me why this both approach is same, one in concentrated pair, another is distributed pair. Why this happened? Kavita S, if you are there, please tell me. Please respond quickly so that I can move with the other case study. Please. Anyone, please. Pratibha, are you there? Will you please tell me why this concentrated pair have low SINR as compared to distributed? Anyone please? Okay, anyone please tell me? Anyone tell me? Ramya, please tell me. Is there any difference? No one. So Mallikarjun sir, basically this happened because when the concentrated pairs are there, then interference is higher because all the pairs are nearby, right? So in this case, due to interference higher, the SINR will be lower as compared to distributed pairs. Hopefully, you all have understood this concept. Now, here this is the practical scenario. Here the complexity analysis. So complexity, if you will doing the research, complexity is very, really important phenomena to do the real-time analysis. So see, the complexity is very, very low. Number of D2D pairs increases. At one times, this will be crossed at the general scenario without SBRRA approach and with the SBRRA approach, because maybe at number of 7 pairs, when the 7 number of pairs there, might be they are behaving as a concentrated nature, right? So interference is higher. So that's why complexity is higher. Otherwise, in all the case, complexity is lower as compared to other approach. So this is the first case study to reduce the power, to reduce the complexity. In the meanwhile, Mallikarjun sir, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
So I want to show one hardware approach. You will give the permissions. So I will. So
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
yeah. So first I will discuss this case study. This is the power optimization using narrowband IoT approach. There's a hardware analysis has done at my lab, and there are 3 conditions of the patient. When maybe the patient in not good conditions, so lying on the bed conditions. Second one, they might be feeling good and might be can able to stand. And third one, they might be very okay, but still some monitoring is required by the your doctors. So how you can analyze this 3 case study for the power optimizations in IoT or narrowband IoT case. So see. So this is the case one when the patient is lying on the bed. Now we will move the second.
Hello, sir. Rakesh, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Your visual is visualized or not?
Video, sir. No video is visible, sir. You are in the slide 42.
My video is not able to visualize.
No, sir. No.
What happened? But I'm currently shared. Okay, okay. Yes. Just a minute, sir. Oh, understood. Now understood.
Yes, sir. Yes. You can make it full screen, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, thank you for the time. This is okay?
But no audio, sir.
Okay. Result is audio is not
Yes, sir. Audio is not there, sir.
okay. So when the patient is on lying state, variations. Here is a smooth variations are there, right? Smooth variations. And this is one case one, and I will now share the case two. Is visualize the video?
Yes, sir. Video is visible, but audio is not there, sir.
I will explain.
I think while sharing that speaker will come, sir. That into mark, if you make it, then you will be able to hear it. Sir. Sir, while sharing, the speaker may be off, sir. You can make it on.
Okay,
Then we'll be able to hear your that voice.
okay, okay.
Not there, sir. In the share there only, sir. Share.
Video.
Video is there, sir, but audio is not there.
So I will explain here through this. See, basically there are three conditions. You can able to see here. My voice is okay.
Yes,
My
your
voice
voice is okay.
yes. So here is the constant phenomena when the patient is in lying state. When they stand up, then the high fluctuation are there. Then again smooth because 100 second they are standing positions. And after that, when they moved, case third, there's the high fluctuations that appears. So this is the actual case studies of this patient for the powered mice. So what basically we are looking for this. Just a minute, then I will explain. So in last case, basically we are looking for the three cases of possible cases of healthcare system when the patient is lying state and they are standing conditions, and if they are feeling okay and they walk in the park and everywhere, but continuous monitoring is required. So different power mice is required for the different cases studies. So we have done this case study and optimize this power requirement on the basis of narrowband IoT. First, initially all our people are doing on the Internet of Things, based on the 5G. But for the green communications, currently narrowband IoT, maybe some faculty are doing the research on narrowband IoT because this is the next generation of IoT. So, so that is the hardware analysis we have done in our lab. So now, since due to a continuous approach, we have provided some hardware analysis, so we can do in our lab. So you people can also incorporate different case studies in your lab also, right? We have done many case studies in hardware analysis also. So now, second approach is for powered mice is noble beam breathing approach for reliable D2D communication. So see, all please just take the, inhale and see. And so this approach we have applied at the physicians. Sometimes they will in the real time scenario. Let us assume that in your college, BMS college, one point where the number of users is very high. Let us assume that in canteen, let us assume that in academic area, right? And some area where the students are very less. Let us assume that at morning 9 to evening 6 p.m. the students are basically a high density area is canteen or academic area. At that time, your hostels are very less students are available. So how the networks can do in such adaptive behavior so that you can optimize the power. So that the same thing we have done case study with the Sri Madhava University when I was there in the real actual scenario. So here you can able to see in my this is my GPS map, and this is connect goes to Google map and the open network of Airtel. So if you have the Airtel networks, Airtel your service provider the NSP is Airtel, then you can able to see this scenario that is open networks. Just open this apps and you can able to see your networks, how many patients are there, how the beam is moving towards to you. You can also able to find out. So currently, maximum distance is incorporated by the omnidirectional data. But in the future, in deployment of the 5G, the beam forming approach is very important. But we are talking about the beyond 5G, concept. This approach is really beyond 5G or 6G approach. How this can happen? See. I told, let us assume that this area is is very high pair density, right? Very high pair density. And sometimes when the users is moved from here one, two, right? One pair density is understood that 100 users. So here 400 users are there. Here 200, here 100. Now after some times, after 6 p.m. they move, right? They disperse from here to there. Still not 4. Here's let us know 2, right? Like that. So what we'll do in the future scenario. That is really, really important, right? So in beam forming, your base stations will be produced the beam, right? Main lobes. So if the density of user is very, very high, so might be if beam is narrow, so out of 400 only 200 users can be served, 200 prestige. And always remember this one concept: if your network have not good signal to strength, that means signal is not good, your battery backup is reduced because you are searching the base stations venue very quickly, right? So this is the general things. When you will observe in practically, if your phone has low network, then high power consumption, high heat, high power generations are there, and more radiations will be appear. Please understood this concept. I think you agree on this point. If not agree, please discuss with me. So if 400 users are there, so there one beam is not able to serve high density area. So what we can do? We can do one thing. We can merge two beams at the same time, right? Two beams at the same time. So if the user is base station here, if the base station is here, user high density user is here, then two beam can be merged, right? So that area will be increased. So we have given one novel concept in to optimize the power is known as beam merging phenomena. And second one, if the user is very far, so what we'll do? If beam broadening is there, beam broadening. So if beam broadening, then distance is lower. But if you will compress the beam, that means beam narrow beam forming can be developed. So that can be reached at a very higher distance. What is the concept? So if you will go for any welding, those persons who is involved in the welding process, so you can see there where the mask and tape welding, when they will press, the longer beam is there. When they will press, then high density and but narrow. So the same concept I was applied for at the base stations. If the user is very, very higher distance, directivity is required. High directivity is required. So high directivity means narrow beam. So this area is there. Let us turn this area and we compress. So they will move higher distance. If we compress lower distance but expand. So if the density is higher, beam broadening phenomena is very, very good. If the users is very, very far from your base stations, then directivity on narrow beam forming is required. So we have developed two concepts, beam broadening concept, and second one is a narrow beam forming concept. And third, in some case, let us assume that some user is available here, some user is available here. Yes, might be this can be possible. No one has asked, but this is the possibility. Sir, why you are always telling all the users here only? Broadening, okay, narrow, longer distance. See, here the beam size is here, right? Lower distance from the vision. Here narrow, beam distance is higher. But sometimes if the user is here, then what we'll do? In that case, we will do the beam merging. So see in the next slide. Here, see, here, some users are here, but this beam is not able to serve. We are not able to serve this, Then what we can do? We can do two beams, right? Here, see, two beams will merge. Now, all the users can be able to serve. So this phenomena is known as beam merging phenomena, right? So this is the actual scenario of our university conditions, and we what are the credit? First, GPS map is there, and open network concept, how the beam is moving. Please see today itself how the beam is moving towards you different locations. You have fantastic visualizations. So same visualization you are able to see. This is the actual scenario, no? So here's the Nescafe, and we have see. So here these users, are not able to not able to serve. So this beam will be steered. Steered means merge here, right? And merge, after merge, all the user can be satisfied. And I already told, sir, if this will not able to serve, then what happened? Because single distance goes down, beam is not raised, everything will disturb, radiation increase, battery lifetime decrease, everything will disturb. So this is the second noble approach for the future scenario. Hopefully you all are understood. But how this can be happened? Who will tell? So this has been done by the training model, right? This has been done by training model, AI-based training model. They will give, okay, your distance here, you are not in that beam, okay, merge it. Or your distance is very far from there, okay, increase the directivity. That means narrow beam is required. So this training model is required to serve in the better way. So hopefully you understood the concept. Now this is the beam breathing phenomena, and this is the database creation. Create database, device base station coverage area in different zones. Different zones means either the high density zones, low density zone, and far zone, right? And after this, obtain pair positions from the base stations. Then power allocations are there in the different conditions: broad beam forming, narrow beam forming, and beam merging. So these concepts are very important. Narrow beam forming and beam merging means power is same. Please don't understood this one base power B and other one beam P, other beam no. When we do the merging, then power will be divided into P and P by 2. So this is the third case of the real-time scenario. Okay, so the same you can result is not important. How much that important is your concept. So here achievable data rate, you can see narrow beam forming have the higher achievable data rate. Again, in the case of number 2 pairs here, in the case achievable data rate percent number of people, zone 2, zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. In all the cases we have found that your different concept will be emerging. Here is narrow bending is required. In this case, this beam broadening is required, and here is this one, third one, beam broad beam forming is required. How? Zone. So see here, sir. First see the zone. Zone 1. This is the zone 2. This is the zone 3. So here zone 2 is required the beam merging. That's why here we have seen this result. Okay. So beam narrow beam. This approach is beam broad beam forming. This one approach is narrow beam forming, and this one is narrow beam forming again, right? So this third one is a broad beam forming. So this is the different case studies. Now after this beam merging is very important. This case study is beam forming for Z2 gain, right? What is the threshold? Maximum up to 16 Mbps. But here in Zone 2 is the merging. So after merging, what is the advantage? See, after merging, the data is enhanced up to 15 to 25, right? And higher as compared to the beam broadening phenomena. So beam merging is very, so this concept beam merging and beam broadening and narrow beam forming is really very innovative concept for the future scenario. That is known as beam breathing. Why beam breathing? Sometimes narrow, sometimes like we are taking okay oxygens from the environment. Same the case study. Okay. Now how much time is there? So we can incorporate it like this. So I have sufficient time. Can this possible? I can cover both the case studies or one case study time. Mallikarjun sir. Then
sir,
tell me that
1:30 can take it, sir.
Okay. So before case 3, I will go for case 4. Then if time permits, then we'll. Okay. So green and safe 5G beyond 5G networks. So please, आप लोग पास में if you have the mobile phone, please type. Please all type *#07#. Please type this. This is really important for you people. I will ask again, Mallikarjun, and my habit is to interact to some persons.
Please, sir, please.
So Asa, ma'am, please type *#07. Please, and tell me what are the SAR of your phone. Arun Kumar RNG. If you are there, please help me. Okay, so Ashish, are you there? Ashish Singh ji, are you there? Or D Prasad ji, are you there? Please tell me. 2, 3 SAR I required. Because without interaction, there is no meaning. And how you can understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. D Prasad,
Sir, 1.6 watts per kg, sir.
you are in boundary. Which phone you have?
Sir, I have Redmi, sir.
Please take care. Because
Okay, sir.
1.6 is the boundary condition, sir. For your children is not good.
Okay, sir. Oh,
Anyone next? Anyone?
thank you, sir, the information.
Yes. Anyone? Other one? Please. And one other person is required for analysis. Madhukarjan sir, please you type and tell me.
What, sir?
Please type *#07# in your phone.
Check in the chat box, sir. Many of them have said.
Okay. So just a minute.
Please check your mobile. Say about. Check your mobile. Say. Sir, it is not working for my phone. Hello, sir. Rakesh, sir. Say.
Is I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. Hello, sir.
I am audible, sir.
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. So SAR is very important factor. SAR is measure of the rate at which energy absorbed per unit mass by human body when exposed to a radio frequency. That is the SAR value. and SAR maximum as per TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Limited, is 1.622 watt per kg. But 1.6 is the threshold. So please be careful for your your kids, and you are not in safe conditions, because this will directly impact your your memory, your sleeping conditions, and itching process on the regular process. Okay, so in the current scenario, a large number of users is incorporated in the current conditions, and increased by carbon footprint by 51% due to mobile networks in last years, right? And so biological safety is really important challenge for all of us, right? So updating future EMF standard and guidelines in accordance to the radiation exposure levels. So in future generations, the radiations, to how to reduce the radiations is really challengeable for us for 5G and beyond 5G networks. So what we have done, we have developed one thermal radiation mode, TR mode. What is the thermal radiation mode? Currently active mode, and flight mode, and third one is we have proposing the thermal radiation mode. What happened in thermal radiation mode? We know that when we are sleeping, there is no requirement of uplink and downlink continuous communication is required. There is no requirement, because your phone in a deactivate mode, but deactivate mode is not possible, because might be you will receive the emergency call or message from other side. So we have developed one TR mode, thermal radiation mode. What this happened? This is basically, you can able to understand. This is the active mode. Here, all the uplink and downlink all are on, always on process. All users with the always on signals. But in the TR mode, some users in TR mode and remaining in active mode. So some users, okay, active mode is okay, but this one is thermal radiation mode. What happened in these conditions? They are receiving the signals from the base stations, but you will not process the signal to the base station. That means you are not able to demand. You are not demanding. Once you will demand, then both uplink and downlink process started. So the basic concept of thermal radiation mode is half duplex communications. At when you are your phone is silent, or you are not able to activate. So this is the condition. Downlink is okay, but uplink cross. Right. So here uplink information transfer is disabled, but all the information is okay. So someone is telling, is this similar to flight mode? No. In flight mode, you are neither is uplink, you process the uplink and downlink, both you are not able to process. But if in the TR mode, yes, you are able to receive the signal, but you are not demanding. So at least 7 to 8 hours, you are off the downlink uplink link from the base station. So radiations can be reduced as a general scenario. So how it can be generated? So always remember that when you will give any concept, no one is accepting till the packet formatting as per the standard packet formatting. Second one is how the basically state machine cycle will involve in that case, right? So here the different conditions are there. So power up is there, ideal conditions, then active conditions. We have introduced one other concept that is known as inactive conditions. Resource inactive conditions. How this happened? This is the general packet format for different slot, one from frame, that is available in the key site and 3GPP both. So one slot is look like this. So here you can see uplink, downlink. We have introduced one slot here, 01 frequency switching. So frequency switching means when your user is activated 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. So through this approach, we can able to communicate in 24/7 downlink, but at the time of sleeping, uplink, downlink both. But at the time of sleeping, you can disable your downlink, uplink link to the base station, so that you can reduce we can consume less power and less radiations concept, right? This is the general scenario of process flow, user initiated link setup, and then uplink and downlink. Uplink is disabled and uplink is continuously. So when you will have the time, please go through this paper, electromagnetic radiation reduction in 5G network and beyond using thermal radiation mode. And this is currently published in 2000, now in volume 2021, this year only. Okay, so this is the mathematical relations involved. What are this mathematical relation told? We have developed heat equations. So when you will disable the uplink, how much heat temperature enhancement can be reduced? We have derived these equations on the basis of different applications. This application means A1, A2, A3, voice, video, and data, right? So this is the same mathematical equation because due to the time limit, yes, but this is really important. This is the RT, target rate equations. Now the most important thing, the signal strength. If your signal strength is lies between -99 to -50, so we have done the practically. This is the practical scenario. See, I have assigned one task to users. Please use your phone in different locations. Lab, in BC Junction, that means where the network is good, and your guest house. So what happened? See here, current scenario. Links are there. You can see the tower like this. If the very good network, green. If some line of sight is there, so this is orange. And if the destructive there, that means red. So in this case, the very poor signal. You can see the ground signal, very good signal, -50 to -69 dB. Average signal strength -90 to -99 dB, and poor signal strength -100 to -120 dBm. So -50 to -20 dBm is the range, the practical range. I'm telling about all the practical scenario, right? In real time we have developed. So what we have done, if the network, once your signal strength goes down below -90 to -99, they will switch, because we know that if your mobile network is not good, right, and if you will not switch, then high radiation will be there. So through this phenomena, on the basis of signal strength, we will do the switching, right? So how the switching is there? Again, there is a training algorithm, and this training algorithm known as display and decision device. How display and decision device will come in the future? You are sleeping at the night, okay, but at the when the signal you will call, you will receive an emergency call at 2 AM. So just slide display there and just on your phone, your connection will complete. So we have proposed display and decision phenomena in DR mode to complete the circuit. So active mode, when the signal is not good, goes to in TR mode. So two things we have proposed: TR modes. When the signal is not good, goes to the TR mode. If signal is good, okay. Now second, at the night time, when you are not able to use the different types of applications or any applications, just your mobile will automatically after 5 minutes goes to into TR mode. So you can save the power. So training on the basis of application A1, A2, and A3, we can incorporate it. So we have incorporated the work with the some comparison with the REPA-code work also, and we have found that our you can see 1G, 2G, 5G, how much difference are there. In 5G is a drastic power density change. Watt per meter square, how much power you can receive, your body is receive, your head is receiving, you can understood. So same skin depth, we have also compared the skin depth, power density. TR mode is very lesser. You can see here TR mode is lesser, right? And energy efficiency, again our network is very energy efficient as compared to other one, right? Again, thermal radiation mode, complexity is very less as compared to active mode, so complexity also reduced. Okay, now power density for versus skin depth and SAR versus skin depth. In all the case, our case TR mode is very ideal conditions for the future scenario, and we have already filed the patents and very soon for the NFC. This concept is really provide a very good platform for the future scenario. So last but not the least, this is very, very important phenomena. If you want to do the research in 3D modeling and provide some results in 3D modeling, very, very easy. See here, see the radiation, heat efficiency, temperature variations, CD, skin depth, right? So time, skin, and temperature. See here the broadness, here the broadness, thickness is very lower. So and values also. See temperature rise 1.5 here, C2. So what are the comparison? After our TR mode is very, very high, it's very energy efficient, low thermal radiation as compared to this active modes. So yes, our approach will reduce the radiations in actual or practically in the future scenario, because we have done all the analysis practically in the different case studies. So hopefully you are able to understood the concept. First objective achieved is propose a standard architecture for safe and green communication. First we have incorporated the standard architecture. Second one, the packet format, how the packet, because we not propose anything. We have given the proper justification how the switching will happen. And second one is thermal pattern analysis for achieving green communication. This is the thermal pattern analysis. And this all the result complexity, power density, NSAR is supporting for the actual deployment. So hopefully you understood all these case studies. Mallikarjun sir, I now I want to take the some questions so that yes.
Yeah, Smriti madam. Yeah, dear participants, do you have any questions to ask? You can ask, please.
Because your interaction is really important. If anyone wants to ask the question in NOMA, I am also, because I was proposed the NOMA first time, and NOMA MIC was really popular in the current days, right? So you can ask related to NOMA also. Anything you have, please ask me, so that I can give if anyone wants to do the PhD and doing the PhD, research area you are looking, please text or chat right now, so that I can give some idea to you.
Sir, coding in which language you have done, sir?
Yeah, so currently as far as the IoT and NB-IoT, Python, and before since last year we have done on MATLAB and System View. System View, since my lab is incorporated with the Intel and Keysight, so System View is a good platform to develop your models. But if you have the less resources, MATLAB is good.
Thank you, sir.
So, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, very informative session, sir. Sir, I want to know how NB-IoT supports in green communication.
How?
NB-IoT technology.
Yes. So you know that IoT band is working on 900 megahertz, right? But as far as your general communication system, if you work on a sensor network, how much data is required? First ask yourself how much data. Might be kbps, 100 kbps, 200 kbps. So later on we found that in 900 megahertz to allocation to the different sensors is not good things, because to allocate higher band, higher power is required. Understood? And range to reduce that band. So we have PUCH, and we have developed one concept related to uplink and downlink, that is known as PUCH and DUCH. That will divide the band into a small band, right? A small band. So later on, you people also study about the 15 kbps multiplication, 15, 30, 60. And this is known as adaptive resource allocation. 15 is a minimum resource block allocation. So, but in the IoT that was not provisions. So NB-IoT that has provision to divide the larger bandwidth into a smaller bandwidth. So a smaller bandwidth required in process is lower power. That's why NB-IoT is known as power optimized IoT. Understood,
Thank you,
ma'am?
sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, but still it is under research, no, sir. Still it's not implemented in India, I think.
Yes. So I don't know, but please search.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes,
are
sir.
the first person we have given the concept of NB-IoT, and
Thank
that survey is very popular because no one thinking about the NB-IoT. Yes. So we have also developed one now these days in India, still not licensed, right? Still not available, but many country they are working on the narrowband IoT shield. Like how they are same as GSM's module, like same GSM GPRS module. But what are the basic advantage of narrowband IoT? The range is 13 kilometer, and I have the module in my lab. NB-IoT module is there. So yes, initially, ma'am, everything is in initial stage, but later on, everything is deployed. So research is good once they will not reply, right now. Understood, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please, any question from Noma? So I will, in last session, some Noma question were there. I will give some good, view of the Noma because I was developed. Uh, so I'm really, happy if anyone asks about the real scenario of the Noma. Any questions from your side, please? Or be free to ask anything on my mail ID. And Nagarjun sir, I have now joined IIT Jabalpur. Before that, I was working on 5G IoT lab at Sri Madhava University. Still, I am associated in this one. So anyone wants to communicate, I will provide the mail ID. You can communicate and send your informations, any types of information. But I'm basically working on real time practical scenario. Anyone is working on 6G? Any students are working on 6G? Now, sir, you can repeat from your side so that anyone is there, and I'm happy to share my views and suggestions. So okay, I think this is okay from my side.
Sir, thank you very much for your valuable time spending and sharing your knowledge on this green communication.
My one suggestions, in later phase, you should do some compulsory and divide the participant 100 participant into 4-5 groups. They at least ask and share their views also, so that otherwise they no meaning. In my view, sir.
Correct, sir.
Thank you, sir. Your sessions was very informative. You have given a wide range of information on throughput. You have given on device-to-device communication, interference, everything. Your lab was also actually very good. So on behalf of ET department, BMS, IT and M, we thank you for accepting the invitation and giving good information on the topic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So may I leave, Nagarjun sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, dear participants, again we will meet at 2:30 for this third session. So please fill the attendance sheet. So it will be shared only in that session only.